All right. WHGE 95.3 FM. Coming up, the Open Eye. All right. Okay. All right, let's get them started. What's this? Ready to get them started here. All right. I'm live. Got my notes. All right. Oh, I'm here. Oh, yeah. Those of us that indulge in or commit intellectual violence don't do so for the pleasure of mental masturbation or ego digging. We do so because the chains of oppression on our people's minds are deep and difficult to remove. Good morning, my children of the sun. Welcome to the Open Eye on WHGE 95.3 FM. I'm Patrice Gibbs, your third eye optometrist, here to open your eyes. Oh, it's the holiday season. We'll have a little talk about that later. All right. I know many of you are going in debt to prove your love to your family and your children. Oh, yeah, this is what this holiday is about. Let me tell you, you can believe the corporatists just love this time of year. Starting from Black Friday right up to the day, people are spending money that they can't afford to prove their love to people that may not give a damn about them and only care about what they're going to get for Christmas. Merry Christmas. WHGE 95.3 FM. Let me get my disclaimer out the way. The views and opinions expressed on the Open Eye are those of the hosts, guests, and contributors, and do not reflect the policy or position of WHGE 95.3 FM nor our sponsor, the Delaware Center for Homeless Vets. All right. Any content provided by Open Eye's hosts, guests, or contributors are theirs and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, company, or individual. WHGE 95.3 FM. 95.3 FM. Yes, indeed. You are listening to the Open Eye. Let me run a little something by you. You hear me talk about this all the time. Some of you will get it, some of you won't. But for those that don't get it, I'll help you out a little bit. The forest was shrinking, but the trees kept voting for the axe. Some of y'all hip already, aren't you? The axe was clever and convinced the trees that because his handle was made of wood, he was one of them. That's a Turkish proverb. Goes right in line with my regular admonition that your chicken voting for Colonel Sanders. Yeah, it goes right along with that. And many of you fools fall for that, and y'all know who I'm talking about. Oh, but I believe in our heritage and our political direction that has always been there from the founding fathers and the founding fathers as you call them, were a bunch of monsters. Oh, I know people don't like that, Oh, now let me explain to you how and why, and I know you're gonna look at me and say, well, you're probably racist. Well, guess what? You're probably racist if you say, well, I don't mean to sound racist, but, Well, most black people, you're probably racist if you say most black people, because how the hell many of you don't even know black people? I'm not racist, but, I heard a white guy from New York City say that. I'm not racist, but it was when Mayor Dinkins, the first black mayor of New York City, won the election. And this white guy said, I'm not racist, but I'm not staying where N-words run the city. No, he said, I don't mean to be racist. You don't mean to be racist? Okay. All right. Somebody roll up and ask you, why do black people think and act like that? Why do black people think and act like Louis Farrakhan? Why do black people think and act like Kanye West? Ooh, wait a minute. I don't know that many people, black people, that think like Kanye West. You're probably racist if you say you people. And the people that say that are usually just gearing up. They say some real racist crap. You're probably racist if you say, I don't see color. I don't see race. You're full of crap. I'm going to tell you that. One of the, what's that hussy's name? I can't think. Something Lauren or something like that. She's this little blonde hussy that is just one of the most racist people. I don't even know how she gets on the air. She was on the Daily Show with Trevor Noah. And first, I don't see race. I don't see color. Okay, when you're saying that, what you're indicating is there's something wrong with my color. My beautiful melanated skin should never go unnoticed. You're racist if you say, if people would stop talking about race, there'd be no racism. If people would stop talking about race, there'd be no racism. Okay? So just talking about race makes racism a fact. No. If we don't talk about it, we'll never be able to do anything about it. See, this is what these, especially right-wing conservatives, well, if you just stop playing the race card, you know what? Black people were dealt a 52 deck and they were all race cards. If you just stop talking about race, there'd be no racism. It makes me think of this thing was on this movie, I think it was The Water Boy, where, after whoever the character was got up and gave his answer to whatever the question was, the host said, that has got to be the most idiotic thing I ever heard. It was the closing line of his response that really killed him. And he said, people in this room are dumber for having listened to what you just said. That's when you know you done said some real dumbass crap. All right? You're probably racist if you say, I admire, insert famous black person's name here. And I have black friends. I admire Michael Jordan and Dr. Ben Carson. You admire Dr. Ben Carson, one of the worst Negro peons to join the Trump administration, and this is supposed to endear me to you with your racist ass? Get the hell out of here. I have black friends. Name them. And have they ever been over your house? Have they ever had dinner at your house? Hey, I wouldn't have dinner. You know what? Hold up. Hey, Sherry and Steve. All right. And Nsoromma in here getting us set up. You have black friends. You know, that just tells me where you're at. You're probably racist if you say, if I said black people do this, there would be an uproar. Okay? You're probably racist anytime you call Barack Obama a racist. He's nothing of the sort. Matter of fact, black people have come to the conclusion that maybe Barack Obama wasn't on our side after all. Yeah, buddy. You're probably racist if you say race baiting, reverse racism, black on black, or a race card. WHGE 95.3 FM in the house. Nsoromma. Good morning, brother.
Good morning, brother. Good morning, world. Yaga crack. Yo, what's good?
Oh, what's good? Chop.
I'm black.
Man, cold out there.
9 degrees, bro.
This is not my type of weather, brother.
Give it to me however. Lord, let me see it. I don't care. It was 1 degree outside.
Jeez Louise.
400 degrees outside. I don't care. I'll take it.
Look,
I just don't want to be in the dirt, bro.
I heard that. I
don't want that dirt blanket yet.
I know that's right. I don't either.
Me, I don't listen.
Yeah. I ain't trying to freeze to death either.
I know.
You know what?
Remember grandmoms and them used to make the quilts?
Yeah.
They take a piece of every kind of fabric and put it together.
Yeah.
They don't even do that no more.
No.
You know
what?
What?
I don't want to, be disparaging and make disparaging remarks about black people. But damn it, some of us got grandmothers ain't but 35 years old. What the hell she know about sewing a quilt? Damn.
And you know what? You right about that.
Yeah.
And that's what. And a lot of our history is being diminished because of that, man. It's these young girls, and they ain't sitting down and listening to the wisdom that all of our ancestors and old people has to give us, man.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, you hear Nsoromma. Listen to those ancestors.
Yeah.
Listen to them old people. Because they bring in the wisdom of the ages to you, man.
Definitely.
And if you're not, if you're not catching them lessons, see, that was one of the things that I really benefited from. Okay?
Right.
Is that we have, in my family when I was coming up, we had an overabundance of elders.
Right.
Right? So I was always blessed and fortunate. You know what? And this is crazy. I don't think I actually sat on furniture by myself until I was about 5 or 6 years old. Because I was always on an elder's lap.
Getting some wisdom.
And that's why I remember my father when I was about 15 or 16. My father said to me, you were never really a little boy. Because we could talk to you in such a way that sometimes we would forget that you were a little boy.
Right.
And some of the things that came out of your mouth.
Your responses.
Yeah.
Because he was listening. You know what I'm saying?
And I was responding in the way that the elders had taught me. And that's right. Yes, sir. WHGE 95.3 FM, the Open Eye Radio.
Yo, what's up, Sherry? Dirty, you know what I'm saying? Steven, yo, the whole squad. Hey, yo, Sherry. I say Tracy. Hey, yo, y'all, Miss, yo, P, E, Miss Ba, the whole squad. You know what it is. GRB, Implosion.
All right. WHGE 95.3 FM, the Open Eye, with Nsoromma in the building. How you doing, brother?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm here with you, bro.
All right. It's something, one of the things that I've been seeing, I follow social media and what have you.
Right.
And I heard a white person ask, what is white culture? And
what is white culture?
What is white culture? We have African American culture, and from African American culture, we have the music, the slang, the dress, and this, that, and that. What did white culture bring to the table?
The Ku Klux Klan.
Oh, man, Nsoromma in the house. Exactly.
Nazis and all of just to think about it, all the crazy stuff that goes on.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
man,
that's not crazy to think about that.
No, it's not. It's not. And white people get upset when you say that. All right? The thing is, if white culture, if white people, and many of them are smart enough to do so,
right,
okay, embrace their European heritage. For instance, you have white Irish, you have Irishmen, you have British, you have French, you have Spaniards, you have Italians. Okay, this is European culture.
Right.
But when they got here, okay, and don't forget, especially you Italians and some of you Eastern Europeans,
right,
you were not accepted. The Irish, you were not accepted as white people. With the Irish, they didn't really become white until like the 1920s or maybe even the 1930s, when they became so prevalent on the police force. Then they were accepted into quote unquote white culture, right? And I said the police force for a reason, okay? Because who are the worst race soldiers? Who are the ones that are maintaining the oppression in black areas? It's the race soldiers, the police, okay? Now the Italians, when they got involved in politics and this, that, and the other, probably with Fiorello LaGuardia, who was the mayor of New York, the first Italian American to become mayor of New York.
Right.
And many of them considered him one of the greatest mayors ever in New York. As he
really,
as he went after crime and this, that, and the other, But at that point, what happened was Italian Americans did what? They took over the fire stations, the fire departments and what have you. And then they became honorary whites and what have you. Same thing with Eastern Europeans, most of whom were so-called Jews.
I mean, but you can't knock them for putting themselves in position to
No,
be,
you can't.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We are only so-called dum-dum-dums that didn't put themselves in position throughout all the stuff that we've been doing, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even though we've been through the most, you know what I'm saying? That should make us want to put ourselves in position.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I don't.
And it wasn't from a lack of effort.
Right.
Don't forget that. Like Nsoromma said,
right.
We tried to put ourselves in position, okay? But of course, whenever we did something that would advance
and excel what their expectations was,
right?
It'll be burnt down, it'll be tore down,
it'll be
corrupterized. That's in my slang scenario, corrupterized.
I'm gonna write that down.
You don't.
Corrupterized.
Right.
Right. Now, the thing, of course, that hurt us, okay, was when we got food into integration. Because what integration was really about was about breaking up the advance and progress of our black communities and what have you, And unfortunately, a lot of us put that tag on Dr. King, right? And Dr. King's thing was opening up the society so that we could move freely throughout the society, not closing down our institutions. But see, you got to remember something.
What?
All right. Let me give you this example here. When I was in the Air Force, I met a lot of people who had came from sheltered environments or real strict environments. Okay, where they didn't have the freedom of adulthood, where they couldn't do what they wanted to do,
right,
without getting tamped down by their parents and
right.
elders and what have you. So when they got in a place where they could do their thing,
old enough to do that thing,
old enough and away from home. All right, many of them without the training and understanding and adulthood went buck wild.
And you know what we called that? They got turned out.
They got turned out.
When they don't get the lessons and get the knowledge at home before they enter the street to be able to understand and see what's being happening and done to them, they will be turned out.
That's right.
On drugs, women, men, whatever, because it's all out there.
It's all out there.
In disguise.
Yep.
Sucker born every second.
And like my man said, they get turned out.
Yeah.
And that's what happened to our people. See, we were in such strict environments, where we were tamped down and held down. When we finally got a place where we had freedom of movement and access to the society,
right,
many of us ran from our own, shut down our own institutions, businesses, and what have you. We confused quality with white. And that was one of our biggest problems. It was our biggest problem in education. Look at our HBCUs, even now. We have HBCUs where we have hired white professors, okay, who don't have the understanding of our culture, our nuances, and what have you, okay, and who come into the situation with the caucasity
Caucasity?
Caucasity. Yes, indeed. With the caucasity of superiority. Right. And so when they speak to her children, they're speaking down to them. They're not speaking power to them to uplift them.
Right.
Okay. And a lot of our HBCUs got confused as to what their curriculum should be. Because what they did was they modeled themselves after the white colleges, which we didn't have access to, okay? And instead of expanding the curriculum, okay, which they taught classical music, they looked down on jazz music, foolishness. They taught Greek and Latin and looked down on Swahili and what have you,
But that's their play to start a fight. I mean, to bring the controversy among, So I'm like, okay, if these colleges are black colleges and they hiring white people, they're not teaching black stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
they don't have a black curriculum.
Right. And that's the problem lies a lot of places in the when you actually sit somebody in place. When you put somebody in place, even though this teacher's supposed to be the one that he's the black historian, but I'm gonna take Mr. Krimpelman and put him in position because he's a white scholar, and he likes the Vatican, and he teaching them stuff about the Vatican and all of that, and not the black things that they. And I was like, okay, for the benefit of the doubt, I'm gonna say they was doing that so that some of our black kids can compete with some of the white kids. I was saying that, but that ain't we'll never be able to compete because they already got us as a lower standard. So there's no competition.
And you hit that nail right on the head. So they'll be able to compete in the white corporate world and what have you. And don't get it mixed, okay? Because I am a strong believer that we need to know their history as well as ours.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, I am one of those people who study history, all right?
Right.
And I would say that many of black people like myself, okay, know more about their history than they do.
A lot of them, because a lot of them don't know their history. They just go on what they feeling and what their buddies say.
That's right.
Whatever like that. A lot of people don't really do their own research to find out a lot of stuff anyway.
That's right. A while ago I had a white person, and I've told this story before, who had a PhD in history, accused me of asserting that all white people are bad or evil. Okay? Well, I'm going to tell you like Jane Elliott said. Jane Elliott said, if you were educated in America and you're a white person, you're a racist.
Right? And that's a white person saying that.
And that's
my homegirl. She's the truth.
She is the truth. All right? And to prove her point, okay, she was in a room full of white people, and she said to them, if you don't think there's any racism in America, if you think black people are fine in America, okay, all of you that believe that, how many of you would trade places with black people? All of you that would trade places with black people, stand up. None of them white people stand up. And she told them, that tells me that you know what's going on. You wouldn't want it for yourself. Right. Why would you want it for black people?
Right.
You know?
Yep. See that's skin crawling stuff to me.
Oh, I heard that, bro.
You know,
Yeah.
but yet you want it to be a great world. You know, let's all just Rodney King, get along.
Let's all get along. Let's sing Kumbaya together.
How can we get along and the whole system is built on destroying and us as blacks?
That's right.
They keep your so-called Farouk money going around.
And your so-called superiority.
That's just crazy.
Yeah. Well, I responded to this white person with the PhD in history.
With the uppercut or left? What was it?
It was I two-pieced them.
You
with my words.
Yeah, you educatedly two-pieced them.
I educatedly two-pieced them, and I told them that I'm not the one who promotes the notion that all white people are bad or evil.
They not.
Nah. I told her that white people, especially white historians, are the ones who promote and sustain the idea that all white people are evil. And of course, she looked confused, like, how could I say that? Well, I told her, look, I proceeded to tell her that the enslaving rapist, George Washington, is the father of their nation. All right? He's a rapist. All right? And for those of you that don't think,
a slave owner, he was everything that there was to be back
as a slave owner.
Right.
Yeah. Let me ask you something. How many white people you know named Washington? I'll wait. Crickets. Yeah, because you rarely, if ever, meet a white person named Washington. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when George Washington married his wife, she already had 2 kids whose name was Custis from her first husband. She couldn't have any more children. All of George Washington's children came from raping slave women.
Wow.
Which is why you have a lot of black people running around here named Washington. That's brutal. Yes. Yep. I told her that they put the genocidal maniac, Andrew Jackson, President Andrew Jackson, on their currency. You got a $20 bill? You carrying around a genocidal maniac in your pocket. Okay? They have a holiday and parades, and they still do it today in celebration of Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus was oh my God, this was a genocidal beast, you know, and he was the catalyst for the beginning of the Atlantic slave trade.
Yo, did you ever see the rock he supposedly landed on? Plymouth Rock?
Oh, no. Plymouth Rock is in North America. The rock where Columbus went was Hispaniola. He never actually touched the American soil. He went to an island in the so-called Caribbean, all right, where he murdered all the indigenous people there. Took some of them back to Europe in slavery. But I went on to tell her that every time that I've been to Chicago, I've been there a few times.
Okay.
I see tourists celebrating the actions in life of Al Capone. Al Capone was a murderous gangster. And people actually celebrate Al Capone.
Come on, man. You know the good guys is always the truth.
Yes, indeed.
I mean, the bad guys. I said that. You know the bad guys is always the truth. They want the bad guys.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, that's what I informed her that virtually every celebrated historical figure in their culture is a villain. And I told her, I asked her if she ever heard of Smedley Butler. You know, I recently asked a white neighbor if they heard of Smedley Butler, and they hadn't, because their education does not want to talk about Smedley Butler.
Smedley Butler?
Yeah. Smedley Butler, a General Smedley Butler, was the greatest soldier ever produced by the U.S. Armed Forces.
Wow.
Yeah, she said she never heard of him. And she got a PhD in history, and she never heard of Smedley Butler. All right? He saved the U.S. from a military coup. But he's been erased from white history. All right? In the 30s, the corporatists, DuPont, the J.P. Morgans, the Fords, and what have you, they did not like that FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, okay, was opening up the society for poor people.
Right.
All right, and instituting laws and programs that will uplift the average white person. All right, even though some of those programs trickle down to black people, Southern races made sure to exclude black people. Okay, but just the same, rich white people did not like what FDR was doing. And so they got in touch with Smedley Butler and tried to convince him to lead a coup and take FDR out of office.
Right.
Smedley Butler said, oh, hell no. You people are rats. You people are criminals. You know what? I'm going to rat you out. And that's what he did. He ratted them out. He ratted them out to Congress, who actually just put a stop to it, but did nothing to punish these people that tried to overturn and overtake the government.
They never do nothing to punish the. You know what I'm saying? But if it was black, it's a different role.
Yeah.
And that's the racism that I be hating and that America displays, and it's all the time.
So I asked her, you know, why there were no praise to celebrate Smedley Butler or William Lloyd Garrison or Eugene V. Debs. Okay, these are all white people that progressed the society. All right, why is that not taught in school? Okay, why is that not in their history or even in their political science course? She had no answer. All right, it's a white woman with a PhD. I informed her that the best way for a white historical figure to be ignored or suppressed in white history is to stand for justice or human liberation. Right. It's a wonder we even heard of FDR. It's okay for a white history hero to give lip service to freedom and equality, like Thomas Jefferson, another monstrous rapist, but they better not dare to make it a reality. So when I, a product of Western education, tend to focus on the villains of white history, it's because that's who I see in all of the monuments, on the money, and in the folklore of the history. If whites want to be viewed in a different light, why don't they simply begin to not only celebrate their true historical heroes, why don't they begin to live up to the teachings and examples of these true heroes? But I guess it's easier and more profitable.
Of course.
Yeah, for them to ask or demand that non-whites accept the historical propaganda and accept the villains they tell us as heroes.
Wow.
Oh, y'all, I'm sorry for dealing with white history outside of February, y'all. But that conversation was interesting to me. The white historian concluded that we shouldn't teach that there are any heroes or villains or evil people in history. Yeah, I didn't have a response for that foolishness.
Right.
And anybody that listens to her is probably dumber for having dealt with that hussy.
Wow.
WHGE 95.3 FM, the Open Eye.
Yo, Trace, hey, yo, Marv, what's up, man? What you up to? You know, doing what I do, bro. Doing what I do.
Yes,
with Mr. Gibbs, you know what I'm saying? Yo, hey, Darren, what's happening, man? You supposed to be doing something today, too, right? Well, I'm going to link up with you. Hit me up. See what's good. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no game. Keep going. Don't let them stop you. Put that game face on, boy.
Yes, indeed.
Seriously.
Yep. Yeah, right.
It's getting crazy out here, boy.
That it is.
They trying to make you stay in for heat, for cold, and not only just for COVID. Trying to make you get rid of your cars now, gas cars. I mean, yo, you gotta listen to what's going on with the world and the government, for real. There's some stuff going on.
WHGE 95.3 FM. During the musical break just now, Nsoromma stated they're trying to get rid of your gas cars.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah, combustible engines are being pushed to the wayside. In California, I think it's by 2025, you will not be able to buy anything but an electric car. Okay?
And think about that. Electric cars, they need nickel and lithium. Now, neither one of them are at a great abundance.
And where do you get lithium.
But they're having a problem right now with supply and demand because of that. The nickel and the lithium. But yet they planning on having these cars in the future. You got to see what's going on.
Yeah. Now Biden just offered $55 billion in so-called reparations to Africa. Okay,
and that crushed me. Why are he giving it to Africans?
Yeah,
when we're the people here that suffer. Africans didn't suffer. We suffering here in America.
Yes,
see, that's how their manipulation skills is just so overwhelming, man.
What motivated him? Cobalt in the Congo, because without cobalt, you have no cell phone. You don't have lithium batteries. You don't have this, that, and the other thing.
Exactly.
Without cobalt. Okay, which is in the Congo. All right, and let me tell you something. Mining cobalt in the Congo is one of the most degrading things that goes on the African continent. Okay, the resources in the Congo has, always been a problem for the Congo because the Europeans that come in and they will do anything and everything to get the resources, but they have no wish to pay for it and properly compensate people.
The land, the community, the people they stealing it from.
That's
you know
right.
What I'm saying?
That's right.
They just come to Bogart.
Children being dogged out, forced to work in these cobalt mines in the Congo. And
that's
still
like Blood Diamond.
Yeah.
Same thing. A little worse to me, though.
Yeah.
Now that's crazy, man.
Yeah, but, and like Nsoromma said, we have people suffering right here. We have a debt right here in America, that needs to be paid. We have repair that needs to take place in the black community, which is what, of course, repair is the root word for reparations, which is what that is about. Now, I've seen quite a few people say that we can't give out cash for reparations because black people just get the money back and buy Cadillacs and what have you. Actually, that's, so what?
And so, I mean,
give me my goddamn money.
Boom!
So what?
That nigga, that should be straight out, but I'm doing the station of I try to beat you more. Because not all of us are going to do that. And they know that. Right.
Because most of us, a lot of us, we going to flip that money.
Right. We hustlers. Mostly every black person has hustle in them because of what has been going on with us as blacks.
Yeah. And I don't want to call his name because I ain't got a lot.
Call his name, bro. Call his name.
I'm going to quote him just the same. I won't call his name. But I heard a brother who is big in the hip-hop world say, if you send me out in the jungle or the forest, butt naked, I'm coming back with a fur coat.
Almost definitely.
Damn right. Damn right. So, mess around and give us the money. And I understand why so many whites are against that, because what they understand is they don't want to empower us, to take over what they got.
But how I never did get that concept or understand that quite well, for the simple fact that you are you and I am me, and and it's enough in this whole world and on this whole planet to go around.
Yes, it is.
And so I don't see the real need for me to have to be next to you to fight you every day when I can do this over here and you can do that over there.
And you know what? I'm glad you put it that way, because here's the thing: why you don't understand that? Okay.
Because they come take my.
Because the reason you don't understand that is because, like most of us, most black people, you don't think in terms of my success means your failure.
Right.
You think in terms of win-win.
Right.
Okay? So you don't think in terms of, I have to put you down and defeat you in order to succeed. You think in terms of, if I lift me up, I can pull you up.
Right.
Now, right? And most of them don't think like that. They think in terms of, any advance by you is detrimental to me.
Wow.
You know, and that is the sick mindset that they have.
And we ain't even thinking about them.
No.
Period.
No.
Never had. You know, that's crazy.
That's what, you know, we have this trend going on with sisters right now on, I think it's on TikTok. Right? Where these sisters, what they're doing is they're trying to uplift each other. And what they're saying is, if I follow you, follow me back, and let's lift each other up as black women. Well, let me tell you, white women got all bent out of shape about that. They got all bent out of shape about that. Oh, why you just doing this with black women? And why can't we all lift up each other? Because you are not part of our community. Why are we living rent-free in your mind? All right? We're black women that got together and said, look, our standard of beauty is dark skin, wide noses, thick lips, immense posteriors, and what have you.
Right.
And we should be proud of that.
And a lot of them are.
And a lot of them are.
They just get what you call that, exploited.
Yeah.
And they act like that's their only gift. Yeah, their attribute. That's not. That's the last thing.
Word. Because look, who is the highest percentage of successful higher education students? It's black women. It's black women. Black women succeed in higher education more than any other group in the nation. And that scares the hell out of people.
Most definitely.
You know? And I tell you, it scares the hell out of some of our people who have been influenced and have the mindset of a Negropean. Case in point, have you seen The Woman King?
No.
I have. It's a great movie.
But it's a lie, right? I heard it was, I heard it was built on. It was built on. This is why I didn't really. I'll wait till it come out on where I get it free.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If it's not the true history of what it is, I'm not interested into it. You know, I'm not interested until it comes right in front of me.
Well, you know what?
That's
Here's
crazy.
the thing about movies. Many movies, take license and are fast and loose with the truth sometimes. Understand something. It's a movie and it's entertainment.
Right.
Okay? And there's some truth in it and what have you. Okay? The thing is that upset, and I seen a young black lady say, oh, no, because they put too much focus on the women and they didn't uplift the men in the movie. The name of the movie is The Woman King. The Woman King. Okay? All right? So there's nothing wrong with uplifting black women and making them feel good, okay? Right. I had no problem with that. And historically, we as black men are secure enough in our manhood to see black women advance, to see black women grow in our society, and we always have been. Sisters, that fight with white supremacy and feminism is not your fight. Dr. Clark teaches us that.
Right.
Because we as black men are secure enough in our manhood for you to rise.
Right. We want the best for you.
We want the best. We don't have a problem with that.
Right.
Okay.
That helps us. That builds up the family.
Right.
Period.
Let me tell you the difference with white women. What's her name? Mary Blankhead Owen. Okay, from Alabama, a white supremacist educator.
Wow.
Okay. She did not want women. There's a white woman now. She did not want women, black or white, to have the right to vote because there was a chance that black women would have the right to vote. And she knew how intelligent black women were and how deeply they paid attention. Right. And they would uplift too many black men. Okay? That's the difference between y'all and them. Your fight is not with us. Their fight with their white men, okay, only goes so far. Because let me tell you something about white supremacist women. They're white before they're women. Understand that. WHGE 95.3 FM. the open eye with that music. Oh, there it is. All right.
Yo, meats was good. You know what it is. Man, talk about it. Chaser.
All right.
Yeah, that's what's up. Pat do the go in on him. You know what I'm saying? You don't be playing. Mr. Pat do the go in on him. What up, Jan? Yeah, I'll link up with you. I'll hit you at this show. You know what I mean? You know what it is. Jan.
Writer, activist, voice in the community, Touré. I had a problem with what you said last week with calling, saying that these hoteps have to be stopped. And I got a problem with what he has to say about Meghan Markle. For those of you that don't know, Meghan Markle married Prince Harry, and you know, she's
they got kicked out the family.
Yeah,
because she was black.
Because she's black or biracial and what have you, you know.
They said we don't want no black people, but it's crazy because black people was in there first.
Yeah. You know, it's Servius Centimus. If you haven't heard of him, I hope I'm saying his name right.
Servius Centimus?
Yes.
Because you be killing me with these names.
Yeah, I heard that.
Pronunciations and all that.
Yeah,
he studied all night to say that, man. You know what I mean?
For y'all of you that don't know, okay, he was a Libyan from North Africa, okay, who was a black man. And at that time, North Africa had been invaded by the Romans. So he was a Roman citizen, all right? But this was a sharp dude, okay? He was so sharp that he impressed the powers that be in Rome.
Okay.
Boom, bam, boom. The next thing you know, Servius Centimus is emperor of Rome, an African who sat on the throne.
Right.
He expanded the Roman Empire, okay? He was the first Roman emperor to visit Britain and expanded Britain, all right? This cat was something else. So, like Nsoromma said, okay, the Africans were already in Britain.
Yeah.
All right. So, Meghan Markle, she comes along and she marries Prince Harry and what have you, you know, and he asked, why is Meghan Markle so hated by so many white people and beloved by so many black people? Well, I don't know who all these black people are that love Meghan Markle, because I ain't one of them, because she didn't identify black until she started catching some hell from these white Britons. Before that, she was just Meghan Markle. You know, she didn't play up her blackness or celebrate her blackness and what have you, because, you know, she basically, if you look at her, all right, she could easily pass for white. Very easily. So we have a Touré amongst many of them. You know, she's also a black woman who says blackness hasn't been a big part of her life until recent years. No kidding. Because she was sheltered from the racism, one, by her complexion, two, by her family. But hey, you know, but boy, when she married that white dude in Britain,
right,
she found out then, didn't she? Now, he was crazy when that happened. You had a whole lot of black people running around saying, oh, the world done opened up because a black chick is now part of the British royal family. All right? Well, I wouldn't give a damn about her being part of the so-called royal family. And you know what? It was the same thing when the Queen of Britain died, Elizabeth. All right? Let me tell you something, and I know y'all heard me say this before, but these severely inbred people who were in the dark ages for 1,000 years didn't bathe. Was running around digging and scratching from pubic lice. Ew. Dripping menstrual cycle blood all over the place. Yuck. Walking in rivers of feces.
Mr. Gibbs, now.
I'm telling you, this is what.
Come on, Mr. Gibbs.
They were screwing men, women, children, and animals. Spreading disease.
Wow.
They robbed and pillaged enough to have the audacity and caucasity to declare themselves royal. Well, the Queen Elizabeth died, and we watching many colonize foolishly mourn the death of the descendants of monsters. I seen a sister, Prince Charles came to one of these African countries, and this sister was in the deli where he came in, and she fell down on her knees in tears. If I had been there, I'd have whooped her goddamn ass. That's word. Meanwhile, these white supremacists with the bloodiest history of murder and oppression of African people continue to rape Africa of its resources and murder black people at every opportunity. Ra, help my people. Please. Please help my people, Ra. That's word. You know, we're winding down to a few minutes here, but I still got some stuff for you. That's word.
My homegirl said, call Cassidy. It's in the slingtionary. Put it in the slingtionary.
Put it in the slingtionary.
All right, y'all. I got you.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, but it'll tell you something. All right? This is how they think of us. This was an incident that happened in Detroit earlier this month. Okay? Christopher Williams, a 39-year-old Detroit police officer, is fighting to make right a wrongful arrest from 2019 that took a major step forward in Detroit, Michigan. All right?
Right.
What happened was he was at this training, right? And it was another cop there, white cop there.
Right.
And after the training, you know, he's checking his pockets and making sure everything's straight, and he pulls out a great big wad of money.
Right.
And the white cop says, what are you doing with all that money?
None of your business.
None of your business. The white,
What you doing looking in my pocket?
yeah. The white cop arrested him for having too much money.
Oh, man. He had a gun, right?
Yeah.
Well, he should have shot the white guy.
I ain't
Just
mad
that
at you
simple.
for saying that.
He should have just gave him some leg.
That's what he should
Just like that. And
That's
that's what I mean. That's where we have to stand up. You are wrong. And if you're wrong, you're going to get it. Period. We can't play with them like that because they already hang us and burn us and cook us and eat us. So, I mean, we can't play with not the slightest little thing that they do, man.
Right. Well, you know, he reported it and this, that, and the other. And actually, the white cop was arrested for assault and battery.
That's
for
right.
attacking this black cop
Right.
because he had too much money. Well, his thing, what the white cop's mentality was, that money puts you out of place. And I got to put you back in your place because you're not supposed to have all that money as a black man.
Oh, yeah? Pow!
Bigger than big. How many times have black people
Wow.
been run up on by white people?
That felt like that. That's in that
Yeah.
same mentality,
That
man.
same
They have that.
mentality.
Like, you
Because
ain't supposed to be wearing a coat. It's cold outside. We want you to freeze.
Yeah. Or
Come
you're
on,
not
man.
supposed to have a car that nice.
Yeah.
I seen this sister,
Ignorant.
and she went into tears about this. I wouldn't have gave a damn if I was her. All right. She went into tears about this. That this white woman came in the boutique that she owned.
Right.
And this white woman was going around, and her clothes were so nice, and she was excited about buying her daughter some stuff. And she asked the sister, "Are you the manager here?" And the sister said, "No, I'm the owner. However, we have this size." Where the white woman said, "Wait a minute, you're the owner?" She said, yes, I'm the owner. I own this place. Anyway, you picked out some really good stuff. And the white woman said, "Wait a minute, you're the owner of this boutique?" I told you that 3 times. She said, "Oh, well, you know what? I'm no longer interested in buying these clothes. I want to go somewhere else and find this."
Right. And that's the way they think.
And that's the way they
And that's
think.
the way they respond.
Yeah.
They don't want to give their currency to you.
That's what.
So, if we don't think like that, we are the ones that's running America. $3 trillion.
Consumerism money.
Right. Trillion. We in the trillion to spend it.
That's right.
But we can't afford no eggs.
Do you know?
You know.
We flipping that money wrong.
Right.
We got to flip that money back in our community.
Like Dr. Claude said,
That's right.
it stay on our community 10 seconds.
2.
How
10
many?
seconds.
10 seconds.
10 seconds.
And it stay in the Jewish community 2-3 weeks, maybe. They flipping it. So, I mean, we have to get more responsible with Us.
with us. That we do. You know? Now,
Seriously.
I know many of you are celebrating Christmas, and I'm not big on it, and I don't do it, and this, that, and the other, and what have you. You know, it makes me think of something I asked my mother. And I asked my mom, Mom, with your knowledge of our history, your knowledge of our spirituality,
Right.
and what have you, why you still go to church? And her short response, she told me a lot. She explained a lot about it to me. But her short response was, by whatever mythology you come to God, understand what that means, okay? What she's saying is, it's all a myth, okay? And whatever myth you get caught up in, that's on you, okay? But my belief with my understanding of spirituality, is not going to lessen my knowledge, and what I want people to understand is have an understanding of the truth of African spirituality by whatever mythology you come to. And one of the things my mom told me was, because at that time when she was brought up in church, it had a liberation theology. So our people were comfortable with that. All right? And of course, like I said, we come to the holiday season. I'm big on not singing Kumbaya with people that don't want to sing Kumbaya with me. So whatever mythology you come to God, whatever mythology it takes for you to come together, okay? As we go through the holiday season and enter the new year and celebrate our different holidays in our many different ways, some celebrated, some yet to be celebrated, let us respect our differences and celebrate those things we have in common, like our love for friends and family, our collective desire for peace and prosperity,
right,
and hope for the new year. We define holidays in a myriad of different ways, and that's okay. A preferable definition is the one stated by a little-known progressive philosopher. A holiday or holy day is any day you are blessed to put your feet on the floor in the morning. A holiday or holy day is every day God blesses you, the Creator blesses you with the opportunity to make a difference in someone's life.
Right.
In your community, in the world. Those are words to live by. Make a difference. So season's greetings, Ramadan Mubarak, Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Habari Ghani, Happy Holidays, and a happy, prosperous New Year from the Open Eye.
Yaga.
Peace. Oh, wait a minute, y'all. Oh, I almost went out.
Almost forgot.
Almost forgot.
You gotta do your stand, baby boy.
Yes, indeed. I'm very sorry,
You
y'all.
almost forgot his stand.
Yes, word. Destiny determines who enters your life, but you decide who stays. Therefore, value those who value you, and don't treat those as a priority.
Who treat you as an option.
Yes, indeed.
WHGE 95.3 every Saturday, 11 to 12. You dig? Yaga.
All right. Peace. Hey, y'all, I was wondering why Nsoromma didn't close out.
Yo, Wagwan. Hey, yo, it's your boy. Yo, the show is going. Next Saturday is the truth. Yo, Jan, Jabbar, hey, yo, Tracy, and Jerry, yo, Howard, the whole squad that's tuning in, keeping us rolling, you know what I'm saying? Hey, yo, Pat, you want something to say, you know what I mean?
Yes, indeed. Hey, listen. I'm going to close out like I've been closing out. GAS, Global African Supremacy, because the world was a lot better place when Africans ruled the world. Peace and love.
Nsoromma streaming all platforms. Go get that. You dig? All right.
Oh, okay.
This is me. Peace.
All right.